Hello everybody and welcome back to Sandy Bay. So as you will know, we did buy the Volvo Excavator at the beginning of this series, and I do have a trick up my sleeve as to what to use it for. There are a few jobs I need it for. One of them is, well, today's job. You can probably see we've got a muck spreader on the back of here. We're going to load it up using the excavator. I'm hoping the bucket is going to be fairly high capacity, so it should get the job done fairly quickly. So let's take this up to the cow farm first of all, and we'll get it loaded up. So we're just going to put the harvest on hold temporarily, because I know that a lot of people don't like it when I harvest continually, every episode. Myself included, I don't like to harvest continually. It's nice to do harvesting, but not every episode. It can become a little bit too much. So we're going to break off from that just quickly. In fact, this is our field here. The one we've been working in, field 14. Everything is good there. It's now fully grown, so it can be harvested. That'll be in a few episodes' time. But yeah, we're basically going to go back to the fields we've already harvested, and we're going to start to spread the muck. Obviously, it's not going to be field 11, because that needs to be baled. But there is field 13, which can be done. Was there another field? No, I think it's just field 13. So yeah, that's what we're going to concentrate on. Now this is going to be a thing spread over a number of episodes, because we don't really have much manure. We can only work with what we've got, essentially, so I think today we should get 2 loads. This is quite a big muck spreader anyway, so we should be able to get quite a lot of the field done in each go. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to check, but I think we've got about 32,000 litres. Which is quite a bit. It's just when you're doing big fields, it isn't quite a bit, basically. So yeah, let's just reverse into here. Give ourselves some space, because yes, I've never used the Volvo Excavator before, at least not properly. I have driven it onto the low loader and off the low loader, but I've never loaded with it, so this could be fun. We're going to have to discover how to use it correctly. In fact, I will try it out off screen first of all, to save any painful viewing. Where did I put it? Great start. It's over here. Yes, over here. Let's run over to it. Now it is going dusk. I've put the time to real time just so it doesn't go dark, otherwise you won't see a great deal. There's a baler, which can be used in a future episode. It does need to be done. The baling in field 11. It's just around here. This is quite a long walk. Okay, here it is. Obviously we don't need to have it on the low loader for this, because it's already at the farm. It doesn't need to go on the road. Well, it has to cross the road. But this is the Volvo, it says Volvo EC300E. Obviously it is just a Volvo, not a Volvo. Unless of course you're in the mood for calling it the Volvo. A bit like, that just reminds me of something, what is it? Ferrari the Ferrari. Yes, for all of you Top Gear viewers, you're probably going to remember the hilarious moment when this was mentioned. But no, Ferrari did produce, they do produce a car called La Ferrari. So this is going to be a fairly slow trundle down to our manure pit. In fact, we could be very cunning here. We do have some manure here, not much at all. It's from the pigs. But we could scoop it up and take it over there as well. Ooh, the joystick works. There is something in here. Yeah, not a great deal. So how do we control it? Right, so that is the same as the joystick, using the mouse. We need to boom out. There we go. And how do you do the bucket? Okay, so it's fairly simple. Yep, that is easy enough. I don't know if we're close enough. Oh, we are. Oh! I must get used to this. I must get used to it first. Wow. Deform digger. Right, take 2. Right, so that was just a practice. Let's head over to the cows. So this is actually a very good mod for Farming Simulator. It must be pretty difficult to produce an excavator for this game. And the sound effects are fantastic as well on the tracks. There's our sprayer parked up. The top speed of this is 4 miles per hour. I suppose that's quite good in a way, because they're not exactly fast. Just a nice leisurely trundle through the farm over to our manure pit. It's a shame it couldn't have a bit of a nicer job. It is a very dirty job to get started with. But don't worry, we are going to be doing some other things with this in the very near future. A few people have actually guessed it correctly. I did say try and guess what I'm going to use it for. There were a few people who said to move muck, so well done to those people. And the other job has been guessed by a few people, but I'm not going to say exactly what it is. Try and guess. I think it can be used on the construction map actually. There's a mining map. That's what it's ideally designed for. Yeah, it has to be said it's a fairly big excavator. It's a nice addition to the farm, even though it isn't going to be used a great deal. There's just not many jobs for it. So while I remember, if you want to enter the giveaway, there is still time. Head over to episode 3 of this series and you should be able to enter there. There is only one more opportunity to win though, and that is in tomorrow's video. So be quick. Of course, if you're watching this after the date it was published, then there is no point in entering the giveaway because it's finished. I'm sorry to say, but there will be more in the future. So where is the best place for this? Obviously we need to be in a good position so that we're not reaching too far, but at the same time I don't want to hit it. As you probably know, my driving skills on this game are not that good. I think with a bit of practice I could get quite good at this. I mean with lots of practice. So does this work? Will it actually register? I can't see why it wouldn't do. Yeah, it does. Good. So the best setup would actually be if I could just dig and then rotate the cab without having to move the tracks and then put it into the muck spreader. So I'm going to try my best to position the muck spreader in the optimum place, but it could be a bit tricky. So I'm thinking maybe if we go as close to the front of the pit as possible and then have it at a bit of an angle, that could be the best way of doing this. A bit like that, although it could be a bit too far away. Which reposition. Right, I'll keep the engine running just in case, because this might not work. We can of course go a bit closer. But we don't want to be too close. Right, I'm going to go with this. That should be okay. It's pretty solid. Amazing. It really has set hard. And the steering is, well not steering, but the rotating is a bit opposite on the joystick. Most things do tend to be. And again, I am having to use my noisy mouse for this job, which is unfortunate. Okay. I forgot to look what the capacity of the bucket was. Let's just take a look. Yeah, everything's opposite. How weird. About 2,000 litres, I would say. Yeah, I think that is quite a good place, so I'm going to stick with it. Ooh, that was close. I think I actually did clip the wall there. Let's boom out. Lower it down a bit. Yeah, again, it's the same situation where it doesn't register the bucket to 100%. So it gets stuck at 99%. But having said that, it doesn't really matter because it is such a big bucket that it's filling this in no time at all. Well, if you get it wrong, it really is not good. So how much more can we fit into here? Let's go for another scoop. There we go. I'm getting used to it very slowly, but I am getting used to it. I think a bit more in the back, just here. mustn't crush it though. And I'm guessing one more bucket load. So here goes. Is that going to do it? 85%, so okay, we've just got to do a little bit more. And then we're going to be ready to go over to field number 13. Yes, I must get the right field number. Otherwise that could be a bit of an issue. And this must be the final load. Yep, there we go. Okay, let me just rotate this back again. It's so annoying that I keep turning in the wrong direction. One day I will really master this thing. We'll turn the engine off and we're going to go over to the field. But no, that was quite a good loading position. Not bad at all. So off we go. The more we can do, the better. I don't think we're going to use any kind of artificial fertiliser on this field. I would prefer to just wait until we have enough. So every now and then, take the muck spreader over there and just keep spreading it as we get it. Artificial fertiliser is not only expensive, but it is fairly bad for the environment as well. Obviously because of all the manufacturing processes. I prefer to use dung. Feels better anyway to use this. So, if we turn left up here and keep going, we will eventually end up in field number 13. I think this is the same muck spreader as what I used last week in the multiplayer server on the Challenger. We've still got a fairly beefy tractor towing this. It's a T7 heavy duty, so yeah, I don't think we'd want to have a fairly small tractor on it. It has to be pretty big. PTO shaft is not attached, I've just noticed. We must attach that before we get there, or before we start. I'll pull over in a second. Right, so there's field 11, ready to be baled, which means this must be field 13. I almost overshot. In-cab view. Getting the balance between in-cab view and out-of-cab view seems tough. If I go in cab too much, I get complaints, and if I stay out of cab too much, I also get complaints. So yes, it is pretty hard to get the balance there. Now it might be a wise idea to start at the other side of the field, then we're not driving over what we've already done. I've just repaired the New Holland for £789. Not to worry, that should make it more expensive when we come to sell it. Much more valuable. Beacons don't need to be on the field, we're not letting the scarecrows know that we're actually in the field. That's a thought. Are there any placeable scarecrows? It could be fun to put them in. Obviously we don't need them yet because we're not even sowing, but yeah, it could still be fun. Okay, so the working width is quite good, so I must be careful with where I spread. If we go too far over to the right hand side, we are going to be wasting it, which isn't really rocket science, but must be careful. That's already 10% consumed. We're a tenth of the way to the end. Wow, they do unload fast, they really do. I think I'm missing a bit. Because we've got the chopped straw, it does make it harder to see where we've been, but I think you can just about make it out. Obviously when you do spread the muck, you can see it on the surface, but it is a bit more challenging with chopped straw. Yeah, it's looking good. And when we get back to the farm, back to the cows, we're going to load it up again, but I don't think there is going to be enough to do another full load. That is going to be it. Right, I probably shouldn't do the headland first, it's just I'm bound to miss something if I don't, so I'm gonna do it. It's a big field, this. Surprisingly big. And when we come to plough, I think we're going to use this tractor we use the T7, so it means we can have a fairly big plough. Nothing excessively big, but the job shouldn't take too long. Obviously if we were using the 4-furrow, yes, it would take, well, how long would it take to plough this with a 4-furrow in real time? 3 hours? I would say that's not far off, maybe even more. I won't do the headland at the top. That's where we're entering the field, so I'll stop it here. And we'll head back down the other way. We should make it down to the bottom. Got 36% left. Of course, if we're using GPS, we'd never have to worry about not being able to see where we've been, because it will automatically work it out. It's just, yeah, I don't think we should use GPS for this. Yeah, that is good. It does make it a little bit trickier as well because of the shape of the field, but again, it isn't too hard to guess where to go. We probably shouldn't keep following the edge of the field, the curve, because it might make it trickier in the end. %17 left. As you can see, well, you might not be able to see too well, but you can just about see that we're not really overlapping. I think there is a tiny bit overlapping, but overall pretty good. So that is the transition. We might as well go back up again, but we're not going to get very far. Almost gone. And there we go. Right, we'll close the back door and we'll go over to the farm. The good thing is, all of the animals are together pretty much. So, well, the pigs and the cows, the two which produce the manure, which means that it is going to make it very easy in the future to keep loading up. You don't have to keep going to different areas of the map, just stay here. Which also means we can keep the muck spreader at this farm. Right, beacon's back on again. Now we'll get our next load. That is a very nice field on the left hand side there. I would like to buy it. I don't know how much it is though. And of course very soon we're going to be doing a silage harvest. We're going to be doing a maize harvest, and the field which we're actually muck spreading at the moment is going to be planted with maize. So yeah, we're basically at the moment improving the yields of our silage harvest. I must remember where to go to in here. But I think really, except for obviously forage harvesting equipment, we now have everything we need to run a productive farm. I think the forager is going to be leased. It's just cheaper that way. Much more sensible than buying one. One thing I would like to do at some point is have every single field as maize or corn. Just depends what you call it. Because that would be quite a fun thing to do. Just this massive farm which just does silaging. It could get repetitive quickly, but still the idea is not bad. For some reason the joystick is doubling up two controls, so when I try and lower the boom, it's rotating at the same time, which is weird. It's also preventing me from getting a full bucket load. Yep, I'm definitely getting the hang of it. Oh, except when it does that, that is so annoying. It's this joystick. Very strange. I try and lower it, it just decides to rotate the excavator. Not to worry. Right, so that is not everything, but it is making it quite tricky to scrape out the bottom. So we're just going to wait until it is a bit fuller, so in the future we will do this again and continue the job. But I think possibly next time what I might do is load up trailers and then load it up again in the field. That just could be an easier thing to do instead of getting out of this concrete pit. But no, either way, definitely a good job to be doing. So we'll just keep this here for the time being. Shut the engine off, turn the beacon off, and let's go back over to field number 13 for the final load of today. There are the sheep, looking fairly happy. In fact, their feeding trough looks quite clean for once. It's usually a right mess, but they're doing pretty well. So stay tuned until the end of this video for the giveaway result. We're doing one a day basically. This will be the third one. We've had quite a few already. But yeah, just one left after this. So be quick if you want to enter the giveaway. These are fairly bumpy tracks. It's a good test for our suspension and our backbones. So, yeah, we didn't make it back up to the top again, so we're going to have to sort of guess where we got to, which does make it trickier. Right, so if we can see the muck on the ground, that would be helpful. Yes, it does make it hard. Yeah, this has been done here. This has been done. That's all been done. Yep. So we've done all this already. Wow. We haven't been here. We're a bit too far over. Quite a bit too far over actually. Let's just back up here. And that should be the right place. Let the poo flicking commence. Yep, I'm going to actually just level it off here. Make it easier. You can see where it got to before. There is probably half a metre missed there, but overall it isn't going to be an issue. As long as most of it is covered, then we're doing a good job. Wow, look how the beacon light is flashing through the Joskin logo, Joskin name, and then reflecting into the muck spreader. That's incredible. Now what I'm to do here is keep it as straight as possible, going back up to the top corner, and then in the future we'll be able to do everything straight instead of having to go round bends and stuff. Now if I was to check my map, my fertilising map, you probably will see quite a few missed bits. We're going to have to see how bad this actually was, but I'm hoping that has taken the corner off quite well. To about here. Right, so we'll take a look. This could be awful. This one. Oh no, that isn't too bad actually. A few bits missed here, but otherwise, yep, that is pretty much how I wanted it to be. I don't know what this is here. I think the field boundary must have been changed for some reason, or it's not registered right. I think I did go to the edge, but yeah, that's that bit done. Let's head back down again, and hopefully it should look very neat by the end of it. So now the corner has been taken off, GPS might be useful. I just don't know how well it's going to work on here. Obviously we can change the orientation of the lines, GPS lines, but again, the field is... Oh no, wrong button. Yeah, it is a fairly strange shaped field. But no, I think we could do it. Almost empty. 1,000 litres left. And we should make it to the bottom. Perfect. Really good. Okay, so there we go. And you can see, except for the bit which we ran out here, that was okay as well. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And as usual, I hope to see you again very soon. Bye for now. So here we go, day 3 of the giveaway. Who is the winner this time? We are picking a winner. As usual, it's taking a while to pick the winner, but it's going to be good. So the winner this time is Xbox Greatest 1. Great video as always, and can I be entered? You certainly can. You can also be a winner. So there we go for another day. Thank you for watching, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.